Welcome to Faith Windows number 6, where Jesus said, I am the true vine. I've gone ahead and prepared all of my pages from the kit. Preparation means print everything out and trim it all out. Now my printer does not print to the edge, so on my main pages I have to go ahead and trim off all of that white. So I've gone ahead and done that, and a strong suggestion is go ahead and prep everything. Do not cut the paper into the strips at this point because you'll find out why. But go ahead and do all of your tags and go ahead and edge them all. Get everything ready. I don't cut up the word fetty at this point because I just cut it as I use it. And then I've got all the parts already. They're already got the edging all around them. One of the things I would suggest is to print page 2, which doesn't have a graphic on it. Print 2 of those because some days I need to use that extra piece so that you would be prepared. Let me show you what my thoughts are for this number 6 kit. So Faith Windows are all about showing God and Christianity and the graphics that I create to talk about the story. And the story this time, as we just said, is Jesus is the vine. So I thought about using a technique that I did in this journal a few months ago. This is the God Says She Is kit. And I just loved how I made this accordion in the back with those glassine envelopes. So I thought about, let's do that for Faith Windows number 6. My thoughts are you would need 2 business envelopes with large window pockets, okay? So one on the back, one on the front. I folded it and whoops, and it's coming apart because it's not together. That's what I'm showing you. Okay, so I folded it. So you would pull this down, right? And here's the other part of the envelope. I've gone ahead and opened that pocket there, and I've opened the pocket on here, meaning just trim along the very, very edge, right? So here's my thought. You would open like that, and then this, I've put 4 glassine envelopes in the middle, so you would have 6 pockets here. And that's what the kit is going to look like, and then that would fold down, and then there would be the graphic that way too. So this is my thought process for number 6, I am the true vine. So let's go ahead and start working on that. So what you would need is, if you have the glassine envelopes, these are the 4x6. You can get them on Amazon. They're called glassine waxed paper bags. I think they were $8 for 100. So if you buy 100, you're not going to run out anytime soon. But if you don't have these, okay, that's okay. Look, just take some plain business junk mail envelopes and trim them so that you have pockets, because all we're trying to do is just create additional pockets. And you can still make the accordion even with envelope pockets. Let's see, the next step would be to start covering the pages. So as I said, the prep is don't cut the word fetty and don't cut your strips on your paper. That's the only advice I give you about don't doing anything. The other thing that I did in prep, let me go back. So here's a business envelope, correct? Make sure it's sealed on the side. Do your folding. Trim open the top and the bottom. That's how you're going to prep each envelope, okay? On my glassine bags, they are, as you can see from here, they're much taller. So what I did was I took the size of the fold and I trimmed the glassine bag, and then I trimmed little slices and just folded it into itself so that it's somewhat a little bit sturdier so that things will slide in and out. And as I'm saying that, what I didn't do, and now I'm going to tell you to do, is to go ahead and seal that, because I think if after you insert and pull out, this might come back out. So you'll see exactly how I did that. And we're just going to apply a little bit of glue along there. We'll glue both of those down. So that side is glued down now, and that will make it stiffer. And then let's do this side. I hope you're going to really enjoy this kit. This topic of the 7 I am statements of Jesus has been a really fun little Bible study journey that I feel like I've been going on with you. Do I know all these stories? Yeah, I know those stories in the back of my mind. But as I talk about with all of my followers, is that making these little legacy gifts, whatever you want to call them, right, gives me the opportunity to spend additional time in God's Word. And that's what I encourage everybody to do. And you will be amazed at the profound effect that just this little bit of looking up 7 verses and understanding what did Jesus mean, what was the context, why did he describe himself as a vine, which of course, if you think of that from a picture, what do you mean he's a vine, right? So I've just so enjoyed that, and I get this deeper sense of satisfaction and a sense of peace, knowing that I understand Jesus a little more, and I understand what he charges each of us with, of what we are to do. And particularly this topic is we are to remain, or the other word is abide, that nobody uses today. We are to remain in him. And that only if we are remaining in Jesus can we flourish, right? And can we produce fruit? And what is the fruit that we produce as humans? Well, that's the Galatians Bible verses that we just talked about. The fruit of the Spirit. And that is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, gentleness, faithfulness, and self-control. I have been able to memorize that. Of course, I should have done all this before we started, but that's okay. I get to just talk to you for a little bit. One more, and then we will be done. Okay, so we've got these 4 bags ready. Let's see, can I make sure they're even? Oh, that one is so not even, Diane. I must have put this one down too far. Okay, there we go. Let's start on, what I thought I would do first is, because to cover the front is going to be strips. And I don't want to just strip things out right now. Let's use the big parts. I mean, let's cover the big sections first. The other thing I thought of for this one, I'm going to try it, and you'll see if you like it. This tag comes printed with the main verse, I am the true vine. And it fits in there perfectly. See how nice, and it sticks up, which I like that, because that way you can pull it in and out. This time, you know what I want to do? I'm going to put the actual graphic of the vine on the back of the tag. That's what I'm thinking to do for this one. So if you look at the back part of it, here's the page number 2, which just doesn't have any of the graphics. This is going to be fairly simple. We are going to just get this nice and glued up. Remember, it should be open on both ends, correct? And again, if you're new, I put paper down and trim around it. I find I get cleaner edges and matching things a lot better. So that's my process. And then, yes, I use a bone folder. So we've got that part down. Let's trim around it. And then that means we'll have some pieces left out of here. And of course, I forget that it's so much better to do it this way, Diane. You get it faster, cleaner. If you have a metal roller, this is a much faster way. There we go. Now this side I didn't leave enough that I could actually pull up. So I'm going to go ahead and trim that with my scissors. And there we go. And so here's the front, and it will be folded like that. There we go. And so when you open it, so do you see that I kept the directionality of when I open it, I have the words reading the correct way. And let's ink that up. Had a really fun day on Saturday. This past weekend, I had open house, and my 2 best crafting buddies came over, and they're such a blessing to have around. We just had fun. I love having them come because they're experienced crafters, and so I don't have to teach. I get to just sit and make my own things, and they make their own things. So it's very relaxing for me. So let's do the back of that one, and it's not going to be wide enough, correct? Because these are a little bit, they're like almost 4 1/4. So let's take another piece. Let's use same page number 2. Let's use this side on that. And now let me make sure. So this is going to be the back. So when I open it up, you would look like that. And this has some words on it too. So we're going to put it on just like that. So I hope you've been enjoying. This is August of 2024. And I don't know if you have children at home and they're going back to school, or maybe you're a teacher. Everybody's getting, well, school has already started here in Florida. It started last week. Seems so early for school to start, but they get out early here, so that makes a big difference for the kids and the teachers, I guess. So it's actually nice because I was able to go to the pool and there was no kids at the pool. So I get a benefit of the kids being back in school. We have a small pool here in my neighborhood that's only for my neighborhood, which is wonderful because most of the time there's never anybody there except my one friend and I who go. So it's been a huge blessing having a pool here. Not at my house because it would cost way too much money, number one. Number two, I don't want to spend all my time and energy cleaning a pool, so I don't have to do that. The back one is finished. This one's going to go together quickly today. There we go. And we've got that piece. So we've got our 2 pieces that are done that direction. Now we just want to cover. Now let's think this through. We're going to have the bags. The bags are white. I'm not covering the bags. So the question is, do I want to have, actually I don't think I'm going to. I was thinking about, do I want to have paper on the back of this? And I don't think I want to because it just kind of sets the tone for the clear white bags. So this is going to be really fun today. That works pretty well. Okay, let's set those aside. We don't have to do those 2 parts. So now all we have to do is do our piecing all around. And now we'll use our pieces that are left. And again, if you're new, if you notice, oh, I didn't trim that. Window envelopes, I don't know why they do that. Do you see how they round the corners? I don't try and keep the rounding. I just square it off. That's just how I do it because it just makes it a lot easier. And so we're going to put some glue down there. We will put this piece, oh, I want to edge it. Hold on 1 second. Let's just edge the whole thing. And it won't matter which way I use it. It will be all ready. And I love to use the dark ink to edge things because it draws your eye in and it kind of sets boundaries around the picture that you're looking at. Okay, so now this one I have to go in a little bit. I'm going to make the window actually a little bit smaller so that I can square it off. Okay, so let's trim that. So this topic, I'd love to hear feedback from you all of how is it easy for you to abide in Jesus? Is it easy for you? I know some days it seems very simple to me because I have some routines, and let me just share what my routines are. My routines are I get up in the morning very early because my dog decides that's the time I'm getting up. So I get up at 6:30 and I feed the dogs and I take them out. And then I sit and do my Bible study. I am doing an online Bible in a year reading plan from Ascension Press. Now I'm going to stop for 1 second because I realized the way I'm doing this, it's going to be hard. to cut it. So let's just make a mark. That will be easier. Okay. Anyway, so I get up in the morning. As I said, I go on my iPad on the couch and I listen to Father Mike Schmitz and I do my Bible study. And that has been tremendous. I've been doing it obviously all year. We are on day 232. And I then sit there and kind of do some praying, thinking through things, who I'm praying for. I used to keep track of and writing down prayers, and I just haven't been doing that. I want to get back into that habit. It would be good for me to do that, but I haven't done it. So anyway, I think that it's easy to say I feel connected to God when I follow my routine every morning. But I'm sure you're like me. I mean, I hope I'm not really weird. Yeah, some days I get up and I don't feel like doing that. Or I decide, I'll just look at my email real quick. And then the next thing I know, I got sucked into looking, scrolling, right? So then I'm just totally off my schedule. And we as humans, it's so easy for us to do that. It's so easy for us to just go, yeah, I'll get there in a second. And then you just walk away from the whole routine. And so I think that to me is the secret of abiding in Christ, is you have to have a routine and you got to stick to your routine. And even though, I'm tired, whatever happens, the minute you let yourself off your routine, not good. That's when not good things, I lose that connectivity with Christ. And I don't want to lose that. That is how I remain in him. And so I'm just kind of sharing that. I'd love to hear your comments back of what is your routine? How do you remain in Christ? What is it for you? Is it a routine? Is it just a feeling? Is it praying? I mean, what do you do? Right? That would be really great to hear back from you, especially with the topic that we have with this, right? And now we got that one. Okay. That was pretty quick, right? You only need 4 little parts. We are cooking. 17 minutes. Okay, I got to get going. Let me cover the front, but let me blow my nose for a second. Excuse me. So everybody has told me, don't worry about the time, Diane. We like watching you and we want to watch what you're doing. So I'm not going to be so, Diane, you got to move fast. I'm going to try and be more, I'm just going to do what God has asked me to do. And what God has asked me to do is create little opportunities, that I call them faith windows, right? Opportunities to go and spend some time with God. I don't know of anybody that doesn't want to spend more time with God. Lots of people say that. They comment that all over social media. I wish I had some more time with God. Well, I'm giving you an opportunity, especially if you're a junk journaler, because if you're somebody who loves to craft, and there are millions of women like me out there who love to craft. And what I say to you is, let's make your time spent crafting count as time with God. Like, it's okay to craft. It's okay to do this because it is enjoyable and it's a good way. It's better than going to a bar or something like that. So, of course, it's a good thing to do this. I just mean and talk to people about make your time count with God. Use these crafting opportunities to be with him in his word. And so I create these kits, and it's not, a 30-day Bible study I'm asking you to do or anything like that. I feel like they're short, sweet, simple, easy ways to jump into going deeper with God, as well as making fun things. Because when you're done with your faith window, now you have a tangible reminder, right, of the time that you spent with God. And that's the most important thing. So not only can you say, yes, I did it, but now you have proof of that. And then the other really fun and cool thing is, let's say in a year from now, you could maybe you look back at how did I spend, we always do that in January, right? We always say, these are all the fun things I'm going to do this coming year. But you can look back and say, yes, I really did spend time with God. And here's my tangible reminder of it. I made 7 faith windows. Like, you're going to do all 7 of the I am statements. Hopefully you will. They're inexpensive. And then I also want to share with you and remind you that when you buy the kit from my Etsy store, you have the right to print this as many times as you want. Please do not send the link to any of your friends, because from a copyright perspective, that's not what you're permitted to do. That doesn't mean that you can't use these as mini devotions for someone else in your family, or maybe a small group. Maybe you lead a small group. And this is a wonderful way to do a quick Bible study, because most small groups that I've been in for many, many years, we start out with, oh yeah, we want to do, okay, my friends and I have Bible study every Wednesday here at my house. And back way in the beginning of the year, we decided we wanted to go through the book of Acts. And so every Wednesday we would read a chapter. Well, of course, things happen, and we can't get to one chapter every week. And so it ends up taking forever. And 6 months later, we're still talking about the same thing. That's not bad. I'm just saying to you, human nature is, I'm so done with reading Acts. I want to just move forward. So what we're doing now on our Wednesdays is basically all the girls, I didn't get that very straight. Well, we'll just darken it up. They're doing some of the faith windows with me, which is really fun. So it is something they can come and make. One day they can go home and do the Bible study. So it's working out really well. So you too can do that, is what I was trying to say, okay? You too can, let's get our pictures up. You too can lead a Bible study with this. And how do you lead it? Maybe you go ahead and print all the kits. You invite a couple friends over. Maybe you take 2 or 3 weeks. You could do 2 Bible verses a week, right? And, okay, we're going to put this on the tag. So I want it to fit on like that. So that's what I'm going to do. Anyway, and then they have a tangible reminder of their time with God. You've done it as a group. Like, how awesome is that, right? So if you don't want to print this for all of your friends, you could have them each buy a kit. They're only $3.75. So it's not really that much money. Maybe you have all the supplies and they can come and use your supplies. I don't know. I'm just giving you some suggestions on how you can make this work as a Bible study that you're leading. Okay, you know what? I am going to glue that on there before I trim that side. That would be much smarter, Diane. Then I will know that it's in the right spot. So, I love this graphic. Isn't it so beautiful? It's the vineyard in a watercolor version. It's inviting, which I think Jesus invites us, obviously. And why did he use I talked about that in the Bible study video. Why did he use the picture of be a vine? Well, because that was their life. I mean, they were gardeners in that sense. So they understood this. I think we as today's, none of us we don't own vineyards. We don't go work out in the vineyard, do we? No, we don't. Okay, I'm gonna trim that. Corner around it is the better way to match it. Yep. So we got that, and let me get my little scissors. The other thing that we talked about in the Bible study, I'm thinking things through again, is that a lot of people say they're Christian. Oh yes, I believe in God, I love God, whatever. But then you never see any fruit. And so we are not to judge others. I am not saying that. I'm saying as a understanding is that if you are what you say you are, if you do love Jesus, if you if you call yourself a Christian and you live as a Christian, the fruit in your life will be quite evident. It will be very, very easy for people to see. And then again, what did we talk about? What is that fruit? Well, they're going to be full of love for others. They're going to love even when it's really difficult to love, right? They're going to have a joy that you're going to look at and go, I can't believe they have joy during this whatever circumstance maybe in their life, right? So you're going to see that fruit. Okay, let's see if my idea works, which means you could do this one of two ways. Now, these are envelopes. These business envelopes, I actually bought these off of Amazon because as I'm making all these kits, I don't have enough junk mail ones, okay? So they're white in the background. Yes, so see how pretty that is. So you could have the words or you could have the graphic. Yes, okay, I like that idea this time. That worked out really well. Okay. That worked out good. Let's look at, I want to teach you how to do the accordion. It's actually very, very simple, and I want to make sure that I have the time to show you how to do that. So as I said, you would have prepped all of your bags. Of course, my one right here is kind of not straight, but it's okay. You're going to put all the open, make sure you line them up correctly, right? Yes, you're going to have the open tops, open top. Okay. Now, here's the secret. There's no secret, but here's how you do it. You basically put glue in the middle on both sides, and you're only gluing it that way. That's how you create an accordion. So we're going to take our Prit, and we're going to put a big bead of glue down there. And we are going to lay it right in the middle. Well, make sure it's, lined up right that way. And then we're going to do the next one. So you just put the glue in the middle. Again, make sure you've got your bags all lined up because they're clear and they can get turned around. And then there's my next one. Okay. And then here's the next one. Keep it right onto there. We're going to glue it to there. And there's the pocket, so I know I have that correct. There we go. Now you can do as many bags as you want. I wanted 4, and then you have the 2 pockets. That gave me 6. And the reason I picked 4 was because I have 4 Bible verse cards, note cards in each kit. So I just thought it would be fun to put 1 note card in each of the bags, and then all the other tags that come with the kit could go in the other 2 pockets. So let's get that nice and glued up. And then I'm gonna have to turn it a little bit away from you so I can see what I'm doing to line it up. And I've got it lined up just like that. Let me put my glue back on so I don't knock it over. And so for right now, that is the front. And I'm going to be gently opening this because I don't want them to pull apart. But see how fun that's going to be? See how it happens? Hey, it worked really well. So that's how it's together. Now, what I am probably going to do on this, I'm probably going to take some washi tape and glue over it just to seal the bottom of it so that it's together, because I think it'll be a little bit too flimsy. So here's what my cards would look like in there. That's the basics of how to make number 6. Oh, the other thing on these mini note cards, I actually trimmed them just less than 1/4 of an inch on the one side because they fit in that bag perfectly, but they didn't slide in and out every single time. And so I decided to trim them. I did that before I started my Bible study, okay? So these are trimmed just slightly. So you might want to do that also if you're gonna put your cards in there. And my last card, I didn't write anything on yet. I'm still doing that part. And there it will go. And the other big tag, which I'm going to put the graphics on. let's see, let me make sure this is open. We'll go right there. Yes, it's all nice and green for the vine. And I'm gonna put this other graphic on there. So let's do that. And then I will go ahead and finish up the kit and show you at the end, because I think we've done pretty good on our timing. So again, here's the way I suggest to do it to make sure that you cover it correctly. Is to lay it on that way, pencil around it, right? And then you're just gonna trim it and put it and glue it together. There we go. And again, what I did was I only trimmed one side first and glued it down, and then trimmed the rest. I think that works a lot better. So let's go ahead and do that, and then this kit will basically be done. Let's get that right on there. This one was on the side, so we want to put it back on the side, back on the very edge, and at the top. There we go. All put together. I'll just trim that one up. Now, another little secret that I do is when you have rounded corners on something from a kit, see how I don't try and sit there with my hand and make the corner? I just use my 1/2 inch corner rounder, and it just takes it off and matches it and just looks a lot smoother and better. So there we go. And let me trim this out. And the True Vine kit will be ready and finished. Thank you to all my followers. Thank you to my subscribers. Thank you to the people who leave me encouraging comments and notes. I so appreciate and love you. I know that this is all in the hands of God, this entire endeavor of mine as a old retired woman starting a business. At first, my friends were like, "You're retired, why don't you just relax?" And I was like, well, I am relaxed, but I need something to be focused on. And I feel like God gave me this as a focus to share my faith and share my creativity. And there we go. Isn't that just gorgeous? So at the end of the video, we'll show you how I finished decorating everything. And it's finished. It's beautiful again. So this is number 6, Faith Windows. Jesus said, "I am the true vine, and we are to abide in him." So I'm going to go like that, and then you can see how it's a fun accordion. What we did was I used the existing tag, and then I used some of the wording on the one side, and then I put the graphic on it. What I did off camera was I also added music paper. I added hymnal paper, actually, and put that in there because I just thought it looked much nicer when you would look at it, so when the tag is in or out. And then, of course, I've added my ephemera, the fruit of the Spirit, and the fact that we are to be connected. Admit one to the true vine. I am the vine, that graphic. Finished my tags, added the wording on the tags, punched them, and then added some fun fibers. Used the tab. My notes are here in the accordion, as I mentioned, and then we're going to turn it around for the back. And I used the rest of the tags with the Bible verses, the 7 Bible verses that we studied in this kit. Added that one graphic. Now the trick is I like the vellum, but sometimes when you put it on a darker background you get to see the vellum, but I'm okay with that. And then use the 2 pieces of ephemera as little tuck spots and put that there. And then this tag, I put the vine picture on the back of it, and you could actually use this one of both ways, right? You could have the verses like that, or you could have the graphic, and I did the same thing. I added hymnal paper inside. That is my finished number 6 I Am the True Vine, Jesus, the I Am series. We have one left to go, and I hope you will join me for that one, and I hope that you will enjoy making this kit.